I have gathered here some of the ways that we collect and preserve food. We don't store everything that we grow. We try to eat as much as we can fresh, but we also don't want to toss it out if we have extra. I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned in saving food is only saving the things that you really will end up eating, because if you do it and then throw it away, it's no fun. So one of the things I found that is the most fun, that we definitely always use and end up running out of before we get fresh, is pesto. So I just mix up a batch of basil, fresh basil, with all the ingredients, blend it, put it in ice cubes, wrap it up in little wax paper, and freeze it. And we always eat these up on pasta, soups, vegetables. We do a cilantro pesto, we do a basil pesto, Thai pesto. Those are a big hit. Another thing that's super easy is fruit. So we freeze fruit. Basically there's three ways. You can freeze, dry, or can. And so freezing is really good because it preserves the nutrients and flavor, but you have to use a lot of energy storing it in the freezer, and if your freezer goes out in an electrical storm, you stand the risk of losing it. Canning, you lose some in flavor and nutrition, but you have a solid product that won't go bad over time. Drying, you lose a little bit in flavor, but you save the nutrition pretty well when you dry it. And we do have a really handy dehydrator that we use quite a bit. But the dehydrated vegetables and fruits, to me, are not quite as tasty as the frozen. So what we've done this year, we've frozen some raspberries as they were coming in. We just pick about a cup a day and put them in here to freeze. We have some blackberries. Will's been heavy on the peaches this year, so we have a bunch of these little packets in our freezer. We're just now doing green peppers, and I also cut up a bunch of green peppers that I'm going to roast in the oven and with oil, and pack them in oil like I did these tomatoes. So we'll keep these in the fridge probably, and they are so good with some garlic and oil on them. This is these are some tomatoes that Will dried last night. And I'm not sure what we're going to do with these, if we're going to pack them in oil or just keep them dried in a bag. But they really rehydrate beautifully. So as the tomatoes come in, we're trying to process those one way or another. We'll probably freeze some too. And let's see, we've got some shiitake mushrooms that we're still enjoying from our last harvest. They haven't come in this year. And these are some small figs that we're getting in a little bit every day, and we'll slice these in half and put them in the dehydrator, and they dry really nicely too, just like candy. Actually, here's some little dried figs. I've also saved a few of my favorite herbs. I used to do this a lot, but I found that I just didn't use them. So now I will mostly just dry things I know I'll use, like basil, parsley. We love parsley, and we definitely eat that. And this is rose geranium, which is a real old-timey flavor. It's a beautiful plant, and we learned from a chef how to make ice cream out of it this year. So I want to keep some of that for the wintertime. And this is lemon geranium. So a few of the favorite herbs I'll save. But mostly we have a very tiny freezer, and then just our regular refrigerator with a small freezer under it. So we don't have one of those big bulky freezers. So we try to do a little bit of a mix. I also, this is something I tried the other day. These are just cucumbers with some fresh dill and spices and vinegar, and so we'll eat those over the next couple weeks, and I made about 3 jars of those, and I'll probably do the same with some squash that I have there. So we try to keep at it, even with our small plot that we have here. Actually, a lot of food comes off of it, and it's a constant process of deciding what you want to do with it. But I think tonight we're going to make a peach pie.